I do not want my children. And the more and more I think about it, I think I made a big mistake by having them. I've been thinking about this for years, and I also told my children that I do not want them at all. I told my children that I don't want them to live in the United States. I don't want them to grow up how I grew up. I don't want them struggling. I definitely don't want them to deal with discrimination. And I don't want them to be in debt. I don't want them to find a person that is not going to be beneficial to their lifestyle and how they've been living for almost the last 10 years being abroad. My husband and I, we say it all the time that we should have never, ever, ever had our children in the United States. We should have left and never looked back. All the stuff that's going on in the United States is not an healthy environment for my children to live in. I want them to feel secure. I want them to feel safe. I want them to feel loved by a community of people that is all striving for the same outcome. And I just feel like being in the States right now is too much pressure. It's volatile. And also, if they are looking to go to college and things of that nature, is too freaking expensive. As a parent, we want what's best for our children. Now, do I want them to struggle? Yes, but I don't want them to have the same exact struggles that I had growing up with.
It's a natural thing for us to want to protect our children, right? But at the same time, this is why you got to have the balance of masculine and feminine in a household where you're raising children, because it's not about whether or not all the community is always going to be. That's not realistic. It's not even realistic when it comes to the jobs that you work. You're going to have different people from different spectrums. But see, my father taught me that life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you react to it. You don't have to be in a space where everything is overly expensive. You just don't have to keep up with the Joneses. You just don't have to necessarily embrace a specific type of culture. The culture is what you make it. And so everywhere in the United States of America is different. How they think in the Midwest and in Detroit is much different than how they think in Miami versus Los Angeles versus New York versus Atlanta, right? And so when I see people saying things like this, I understand it, because you don't want to bring children into a bad world, but I would tell you that this world is 10 times better than ever before. And that's just the truth. Like, if you look at historically, anywhere, whether you're in the United States of America or you see the civil unrest in any country outside of the United States of America, there's always been times of warring, times of famine, times of poverty, times of distress, times of opportunity, times of being flush. So, you know, if you look at it from that lens and you say we are in the greatest time of history, you don't have to spend a lot of money on college, for example, right? You can go to a community college and then transfer over into a major university, minimizing the amount that you pay in credits, and then ultimately saving for, if you know you're going to have a child, save for them, use the 529 plan or anything like that. It's all about planning. It's all about perspective. I think that a lot of times we input into our children um, our lived experiences from a negative perspective instead of using it as an opportunity to teach, right? And so, we'll automatically say, oh, America and this and that, because I've had similar thoughts prior to my child being born. My daughter, I decided to only have one because I said that I was going to pour everything that I could into her, right? In addition to that, I contemplated not having a child because I said, man, this world is so messed up. Now, I'm looking at it probably from a completely different lens as her, right? I'm looking at the alphabet community and, all of that type of stuff, how everything is going more liberal and just cultural norms. But I will tell you that as my daughter has traveled the world and has traveled all across the United States of America, she is incredibly well-rounded, incredibly confident, doing it so well, and her community is thriving and going in the direction that she is going in. So it depends on what you create, right? It depends on how you strive and structure the life of the children that you have. I would never want to live anywhere outside of the United States of America for the rest of my life. I love my city. I love my state. I love the fact that we had the wherewithal to change the dynamics of the direction of the city collectively. And I think that it's an awesome thing of what she's got to experience. And she don't have to necessarily go through what I went through, but she has to fail in controlled environments in order for her to be successful. Let's continue to deep dive into what she's saying.
Limited resources that cause me to make limited decisions. I want my kids to feel
Stop having kids poor too.
like the entire world is at their fingertips and they can access that world at a drop of a hat. Even if they cannot access that world, they can learn about the culture. They can have friends from there. They can probably, explore what that is all about and be global.
I don't understand what the problem is. You literally have more opportunity than ever before to tap into certain cultures, people that don't look like you, places you've never been to. Let me hear the whole thing.
Minded and open-minded to other places, countries, things of that nature. We have been told so many lies in the United States in regards to living and children and things of that nature. Look, parents, if you do not want your children to grow up in this crazy world, especially in the US, I can help you. My husband and I, even my children, can help your family get the heck out of there. So what we have done was forget my little webinar.
All right, so I'm assuming that she's selling something right now. But I think that if people don't like it here in the United States of America, and I'm always going to link back to the content creator because it's just the right thing to do, regardless of whether I agree with him or not. And that's she did a great sales pitch and all of that, hooking you in at the beginning and saying something that seemed egregious. Me watching this in real time and watching it all the way through, it's a good title. I think that she's great at marketing. So shout out to her. Personally, I would never live outside of the United States of America permanently. You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, and I've traveled to a lot of places. I'm going to Korea not next month, in August. Every single year, I try to take at least 2 or 3 international trips. Bucharest, Japan, Korea, so many different places, right? And so just came back from middle of Mexico, all of that. And so of all of the different things that I've seen and the cultures that I've seen, I'm going to just tell you, and I know that it's people that adapt very easily outside of the United States of America. I'm one of them. It's nothing. When I get off that plane and I touch American soil, it's like a relief. You know what I'm saying? It's like I get homesick if I'm too far out of the country for too long. And it's like, yo, this is awesome. This is great. I can't wait to come back and visit here. But it's nothing. It's nothing like the United States of America. And I'm in support of people that decide that they want to leave the United States of America. Yo, leave, go do your thing. Live wherever it is that you want to live. Spend your money where you want to spend it. Be mindful of the cultures that you're leaving and going to, because you are basically displacing sometimes by en masse. I know it happened in Mexico City where it's a lot of locals. It's like, yo, we don't really want y'all here because y'all making it more expensive and all of that type of stuff. So you may disrupt the ecosystem of how people are living in other countries. But yeah, man, I think that people should do what they want to do when they want to do it, as long as they're doing it legally and by the rules which happens in other countries. And I want people that come over here in the United States of America to do so legally here. But it's, for me personally, there's nothing, and I mean nothing, better than the United States of America. I love this country. I love it with everything that's in me. I love my city, yo. I genuinely do. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Let me know what y'all think inside of the chat.